Welcome to the Bulldog Football Show with Coach Elder. I'm Tom White, and I want to start tonight by introducing some of the viewers to you. It's your first year here at Rockdale, and a lot of the viewers haven't had an opportunity to get to know you and that kind of stuff. So, first year, where were you before this season?
For the last 3 years, I was at Peachtree Ridge High School up in Gwinnett County. Before that, I was at Tucker High School for about 4 years. Before then, I spent 8 years at Tri-City High School, and I started my career at Southwest DeKalb High School for 8 years.
Not a bad resume coming in and working with the program. And did you play ball in college?
Yeah, I played at the University of Alabama.
Okay, Roll Tide for you.
Roll Tide.
And again, just a quick opening segment. I wanted people to kind of get to know you a little bit and open that. And we're going to get to business here in just a moment. We're going to pay some bills, and we'll be back here in just a moment on the Bulldog Football Show on the GHSA.TV network.
The third annual Cruising for Careers Car Show and Fall Festival is just around the corner. October 27th at Rockdale Career Academy on Parker Road in Conyers. This year's show features classic cars, trucks, and motorcycles competing in every class for Best in Show as well as People's Choice. There's something for the whole family, including face painting, trunk or treat, and more. The event is free to the public and only $20 to enter your car, truck, or motorcycle in the show. All proceeds benefit the programs at Rockdale Career Academy. We'll see you on Saturday, October 27th for the third annual Cruising for Careers Car Show and Fall Festival.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Football Show with Coach Elder. I'm Tom White. And Coach, last week against Langston Hughes, very interesting start to the game. Balanced offense, run and pass. Was that intentional game plan, or were you looking for weaknesses?
Well, the game plan, we wanted to run the ball on them. You know, and watching the film, we thought we could exploit them off the end, in between the tackles, but we weren't getting the movement with the offensive line, so we had to switch it up a little bit and go to the passing game. And
you had Willie Hardeman starting at quarterback, and I know Willie is one of our students here at RCA and has a strong baseball career.
Right.
Showed off that strong arm several times. And is that something that is difficult to do, is to take those two sport athletes and try to manipulate their skills on both sides and make it work best for your program?
Well, once they get their rhythm down, I mean, it's great for our program. It's just the difference in, you know, when you're playing baseball, nobody's chasing you down. You know, so we got to get Willie to settle his feet a little more and to follow through on his throws. But it's really an advantage for us, for him being a two sports star.
It's definitely interesting watching a growing program utilize those talents on across the board, looking for those players that are going to be the next stars. And we're going to be back in just a minute and talk about news from around the region and look forward to this week's game and congratulate some players for their play last week right here on the Bulldog Show on the GHSA.TV network. Small town feel with big time flavor. The Oaks Family Diner on Flat Shoals Road has the home cooked meals that you're looking for. Breakfast served all day, including homemade biscuits and an unmatched selection of omelets. Open from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m., the Oaks Family Diner is a crowd pleaser with their daily lunch specials and Cakes by Mary. There's something for everyone. So stop by tomorrow at 1040 Flat Shoals Road in Conyers and see what the buzz is all about at the Oaks Family Diner. Welcome back to the Bulldog Football Show with Coach Elder. I'm Tom White. And, Coach, we're going to look around Region 2-6A now, and it's an interesting region to watch with some of the programs that are like Lovejoy that are developed and continue to have strong seasons. And then some of the teams are developing and some are just completely rebuilding. So we're going to take a look around and just what are your overall thoughts on the region?
I think it's a pretty good region for us to start out in, especially having to go from 4A all the way up to 6A. It would have been more difficult if we had to go into the region with, you know, stayed in 5A and been in the region with Stevenson and M.L. King and those guys over there, Tucker High School. But I'm really excited about being in 6A and playing in this region that we drew.
Okay. Well, we're going to look at some of the scores. We're going to start with Lovejoy. They beat East Coweta 30-7 last week to bring their record to 3-1.
Lovejoy, you know, they was in the state finals last year in Quad A. They ended up losing to Tucker in a tough game. but they are, like you said, established program. I think they have a total of probably 13 or 14 starters returning. So they're going to be a tough team to beat.
And Druid Hills last week against Terrell, 27-6, 2-1.
Yeah, that's a big improvement for Druid Hills. They end up combining Avondale High School because they closed it down and combined it with Druid Hills. So they got some of those athletes, and the coaches seem to be have put them guys together with what they had before, and it's helped their program.
And Alcovey battled their neighbors to the south in Jackson. Lost a tough one, 10-13.
Yes, that was a tough loss for Coach Hoffman over there at Alcovey, and I'm sure them guys going to be ready to get back on the field and play, and get another victory or something, play for a victory this week. And
Newton gets another boost to their frequent flyer miles, going down to Valdosta last week, and 31-7 was the final after that road trip down there.
Yeah, I mean that's the hard thing to do. Done it before when I was at Southwest DeKalb. We had to travel down there to play them in the semifinals of the state. That environment down there is a whole different world. But I'm sure that Newton did get some experience from that, and hopefully they didn't get any kids hurt, or banged up too much, and they can come back for this week's game.
And Luella lost another tough one, Henry County, 20-22. Losing by 2 is always a tough way to go.
Yes, but it's very tough. I've already seen Luella on film, and they got a pretty athletic program, and they're going to be a good game for us also.
And finally, tomorrow night, Morrow comes to town, and they lost 42-6 against Lee County, dropping to 1-3 on the season.
Yeah, Morrow have a lot of athletes on their team. I think they have a new coach also. I think guy came from Alabama or somewhere. So it's a big game for us because it's the start of a new season. The region tournament, the championship starts now. Everybody now is trying to win that, get into one of the 4 spots and make it to the playoff. So I let our kids know, even though we don't like losing, those first 4 games really didn't count. Now it's time to get down to business and try to get a victory this Friday.
Excellent. Well, we're going to come back in just a moment after we play some spots from our sponsors, and we're going to talk a little more in depth about the game and look forward to tomorrow night and when we return here on the GHSA.TV network.
The 3rd annual Cruising for Careers Car Show and Fall Festival is just around the corner. October 27th at Rockdale Career Academy on Parker Road in Conyers. This year's show features classic cars, trucks, and motorcycles competing in every class for Best in Show as well as People's Choice. There's something for the whole family, including face painting, trunk or treat, and more. The event is free to the public and only $20 to enter your car, truck, or motorcycle in the show. All proceeds benefit the programs at Rockdale Career Academy. We'll see you on Saturday, October 27th for the 3rd annual Cruising for Careers Car Show and Fall Festival.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Football Show with Coach Elder. I'm Tom White, and tomorrow night the Morrow Mustangs come into Reed Stadium, and it's a program that's rebuilding. And what can we look forward to?
A lot of good athletes on the team. I'm not sure if you're familiar with their track program, but they keep a lot of fast guys in their program, so I'm sure those guys are playing football. Watching them on film, they pretty much run the same plays that Langston Hughes and Drew ran, so we've had a couple of weeks to get prepared for them. We're excited about starting a new season. Our kids just got to get out and play. We got to put everything together. The offensive line got to block. They're our key. They get everything started. The backs got to make the right reads. They got to attack on the blocking. We got to catch the ball. It's fundamental football. If we play fundamental football and don't turn the ball over, we can be a pretty good team.
And we were talking during that last break about Morrow and their new coach, and we were talking about how he has experience rebuilding a program, and Morrow is one of those programs that seems to just continually be rebuilding. Is that tougher to go against a first-year coach or a more seasoned coach who's had a long tenure with the same team under its belt?
Well, when you're preparing for a program like that, you would rather have a seasoned coach because you can, look back over the years and see the things he's done in the past, and you could be more prepared. When you have a new coach, you really don't know what his system is and what he's going to fall back to in the second half when he got to make adjustments. So it's a lot harder dealing with a new coach.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to the game tomorrow night. We're going to have it right here on the GHSA.TV network, and we're going to be back in just a moment and give some congratulations to some of the players who performed well last week, right here on the Bulldog Show on the GHSA.TV network. For nearly 30 years, Atlanta Pizza and Gyro has been serving Conyers and Rockdale County the best pizza, gyros, Greek salads, and more. Using only the freshest ingredients, Atlanta Pizza and Gyro has created a list of loyal customers a mile long. Located on Highway 138 in Conyers next to Radio Shack, Atlanta Pizza and Gyro invites you to come in and try them just once, and they promise that you'll be back. Stop in today for a fresh pizza piled high with toppings or a gyro that you will never forget. Monday night is trivia night for prizes. In a hurry? Call in and order at 770-483-6228. Again, that's 770-483-6228 for Atlanta Pizza and Gyro. Welcome back to the Bulldog Show with Coach Elder. I'm Tom White. And Coach, last week's game was a tough loss, but your players are young and they got another game of 6A football under their belt. Were there any players that stood out?
We had a couple of players that stood out. I mean, unfortunately, both of these players played over 100 snaps in the game. I think they played like 110 snaps because they started both ways for us. Offensive player of the week, I'll go with Kyle Beal. We moved him from fullback to offensive guard, and he established, some good blocking technique for us. And for the first time this season, we didn't give up a quarterback sack. So I think he did a great job for us on the offensive line. On defense, I'm going to go with Julian McKnight. Julian played very well, had a couple of sacks on defense, along with, I think, 4 individual tackles, and he also started every snap on the offensive line. So those two guys, had a heck of a game and did well for us this past week.
Excellent. We look forward to some more great action tomorrow night as Morrow comes to town. And if you can't make it to the stadium, make sure to check it out here on the GHSA.TV network. For James Dinsmore running the controls and Coach Elder, I'm Tom White. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week right here on the GHSA.TV network.